Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei trained in time capsule and becomes the heir of Son Goku Part 2. Before we start, please go support ULTIMATE-REBORN for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. This is the translated version I made. There will be some wrong he or she calling here because it's translated, so let me clear this. Issei is a male in this story. Chapter 4 Ultra Super Dragon Soul. Before starting, I want to say something. If in Issei's dialogues the letters are highlighted like these, it is because he is using Goku's voice, but if they are not highlighted, it is because he is using his normal voice. Do not forget, just say let's start. Issei saw the pained Raizer on the ground while he clutched his stomach very tightly. Issei. I hope you're ready, Raizer. Because you will have a chilling death. He said that last thing by changing his voice to Goku's voice. Raizer. What the hell? UGH. What the hell happened to his voice? He said it while he miraculously stood up again, while he looked at the black-haired man with a lot of hatred for the sudden attack. Issei. Are you? What's happening, Raizer? Did that simple blow hurt you? But if I only used 1.3% of my power, you can't complain about that, can you? He said it with a confident smile, the black-haired man. Raizer. You bastard, what the hell happened to your voice? Why did your appearance totally change in just 18 days? And why do you have all that power? This one was extremely angry. Issei. I don't need to answer any of those questions, maybe I'll only answer one. I have this power to save Rias from your dirty hands. I won't let her have a future where she spends the next 1500 years with a miserable person like you. Note. For those who don't know, the demons in High School DxD live 10,000 years, which is an almost eternal period, but for me that is extremely exaggerated, which is why in this fic the demons will only live 1500 years. Let's just continue. Issei. You are not worthy of seeing this, but I will show you some of my new powers, so I will see where those great airs that you have are. Issei would give a loud scream, causing an immense glow throughout the place that lasted about 20 seconds. When the glow stopped, everyone opened their mouths to the ground, especially Issei's friends. Rias. Issei. But what happened to him? His appearance changed as well as his voice too. Although both things don't look bad at all, she had a slight blush because of her pawn's new appearance. Bekeno. But you, I don't know how you're going to take this, but Issei-kun, who a few days ago was not even on par with Kaneko-chan and lacked experience in battle, now she is far above all of us. Maybe even Saphira-sama. She spoke with total honesty, to which the Redeed only nods while continuing to watch the fight. Saphira. Hyoudou. Issei-kun, you are very interesting, in addition to being very handsome. Fufufu, it would be interesting to get to know you better. The Mao looked with great attention at her sister's pawn. Kaneko. Issei-senpai has surpassed all our levels, she is far above everyone. Hiba. Yes, but how did she do it? And why did her body and face change so much? Rias. He will answer all our questions when this is over, we just have to be patient. Issei, you can win, I trust you. She had total faith in the cast. Sorry, black-haired girl, she knew she was going to win. Bekeno. Come on, Issei-kun, you have to win, plus I must thank you properly for healing my wounds. Fufufu, it would be foolish to let such a piece of meat go and not enjoy it. Rias. What are you implying, Akeno? But Asia would not hear their conversation since she was paying close attention to Issei. Asia. Issei-san, I don't know what happened to you, but I know that you will win this test and save Butchu-san from this commitment. Furthermore, I have faith that you will use that power for good and for good things. I know that you will not let yourself be guided by bad steps. Now that you are strong, you are not like that. Win this fight for all of us, Issei-san. Note. Asia wore her church clothes since Rias told her that she could attend with whatever she felt most comfortable with. Without further ado, let's continue. Returning to the fight, Raizer would be terrified, not by Issei's appearance, but by the enormous power that was emerging from him. Now Issei was at abominable levels, but the Akatori was not going to accept it that easily. Raizer. I insolent low class, how the hell did you get all that power? Issei SSJ. To begin with, this is the Super Saiyan, it is the first state of my new warrior race, the Saiyans. Now I am a Saiyan. I said this with a fixed gaze. The cult club. Your warrior race. Wasn't he human? And what is a Saiyan? Everyone shouted at the same time, impressed by what the black-haired man said. Issei SSJ. I think I could play with you a little. Tell me, Raizer-kun, do you like the game of baseball? Because I love it. How about you and I playing? He said it while he took out the sacred staff from him. Raizer. Bah bastard, what are you planning to do? He felt a little afraid and took a few steps back. Issei SSJ. We will only play baseball, you and I. He said it with an evil Goku black-style smile, while shaking his sacred staff from one side to the other. Very well, let's start. To all the spectators who watch this fight, I will pause it for a moment to show you a friendly game of baseball. He yelled at the spectators, who murmured things like, but what's wrong with him? Did he go crazy? Why is he going to play baseball in a rating game? And those things, but for his friends it was other things. Rias. Baseball. What are you thinking about now, Issei? Hiba. Apparently Issei-kun wants to show off a little. Issei-kun was laughing nervously as he looked at his friend who had now turned blonde. Kaneko. This is not the time to play Issei-senpai. She was somewhat disconcerted by what the Saiyan said. Asia. Issei-san, but what are you thinking now? Don't lose focus on the fight. She had an expression similar to Kaneko's. The Keno. Ara, because I have a feeling that I'm going to like what Issei-kun is about to do. She had a horny smile. Note. This girl scares me. Let's continue. Well, in the fight. Raizer. You bastard, how dare you say that? I have not accepted any of that. You are not going to do what you want. Well, the great Raizer Phoenix is here. He was extremely angry since the Saiyan was humiliating him. Issei SSJ. Don't worry Raizer, we are only going to play baseball. Only there will be a small difference in this game. Everyone, absolutely everyone paid attention to what Issei was going to say. The difference of this game is that I will be the batter. And you will be the ball. And without further ado Issei takes out his golden aura and SSJ, going at a devilishly enormous speed, appearing in front of Raizer, and without further ado he with the sacred staff, gives him a powerful pam all over his face, sending him flying at the speed of a military jet. Issei SSJ. Hoon, he shouted happily as he saw the Akatori moving away from his direction. Raizer. Wow. Bob bastard, he was screaming this while he was bleeding from his mouth and still flying. This was going to crash into a pillar of the fighting field, but then Issei appears in front of the place where it was going to crash, preparing his sacred staff for the next hit. Issei SSJ. Time to do another batting, and without further ado he gives him another blow across the jaw, sending him to the ground, but Issei appears on the ground and he places himself in a batter's position with his sacred staff as a bat, and when Raizer arrives, the Super Saiyan hits him in the face. The whole mouth of the stomach that makes a powerful scream from the Akatori that sends him to heaven, and as we expected Issei appears in the place where he was going to arrive. This is very funny. Absolutely fun. Let's play more Raizer-kun baseball. And without waiting any longer Issei begins to hit him with the sacred staff from one side to the other, to the place where Raizer would fall. Issei would appear to give him another blow either on the face, stomach or back. The point is that in none of the Akatori he could defend himself, all under the gaze of disbelief of the demons waiting for the fight. But everyone in the occult club had a huge drop of sweat on their heads as they watched Issei treat Raizer like a ball. Rias. Issei. Asia. Issei seems to be playing with him. Asia felt uncomfortable as she watched the Super Saiyan smile happily while she slapped the Akatori on all parts of his body. Kaneko. Issei-senpai looks like a sadist because of the smile he keeps while he hits his opponent. The Nekomata had a too neutral look while he watched his senpai play baseball. Kiba. I think Issei-kun is exaggerating. He had a nervous smile as he watched his battle partner massacre the Phoenix. Rias. This is disturbing in a way. I never thought Issei had that side. Akeno, what do you think? The Redeed looked at her friend to see her response, but Ria's face turned blue when she saw her friend on her knees with an agitated face while she grabbed her crotch. Rias could clearly see that a transparent liquid was coming out of her legs and she was maintaining a not-so-holy smile. Akeno. Fufu. I already knew I was going to like what Issei-kun was going to do. She had a smile despite having an agitated face. Rias. I'm going to pretend that I never saw that, she said with a because of his queen's behavior. While in the fight, Raizer crashed squarely into the ground creating a somewhat large crater. He was bleeding in all parts of his body and was breathing very heavily, and within seconds, Issei descended in front of him with a confident smile while his face disappeared. Golden aura and returned to its base state. Issei. Apparently you can't even speak anymore, he said it while he put his sacred staff back on his back. Raizer. My miserable Pew. How did you dare UGH to do this to him? Wow. To the great Raizer Phoenix. He was spitting blood out of his mouth every second. Issei. Do you still think you are the best of all? Well, it seems you need more punishment. He stretches out his hand and a sphere of golden energy is created in the stands. Rias. What is that strange sphere that Issei took out of his hand? She was very curious to know the answer. Akeno. Whatever it is, that's not magic, she said it, completely recovered from her emotions a while ago. Saphira. What is that sphere that Issei-kun took out of his hand? Rafia. Saphira-sama, that is not magic, not a single trace of magic is felt in that sphere, she said it while analyzing the fight. Saphira. I know, I just hope that Issei-kun answers our questions when this is over. While in the fight, Issei would shoot the sphere towards the Akatori, thus creating a great glow that blinded everyone. When they regained their sight, everyone was surprised, but more so Raizer, since he was fully recovered and back on his feet. Raizer. Have you cured me? He said in amazement. Issei. That's right, I healed you with my power, he said this dryly while he looked at the Phoenix. Raizer. Oh, I see. You realize what it means to see me angry and with my flames at maximum temperature, right? You didn't want to feel my true powers with your body, huh? So the best thing was to cure myself so that you don't feel the real pain and suffering, right? You made the right decision, brat. Well done, lower class, well done. Note. I'm starting to hate this idiot. Let's continue. The Phoenix smiled arrogantly while Issei said nothing. In the stands, those of the occult club saw Raizer with utmost hatred for his way of being. Even Saphira and Grafia wanted to beat him to death while clenching their fists, but in that some giggles are heard, which came from Issei and Hyoudou. Issei. That I healed you so that I don't feel the pain of your true powers with my body. He said this while his eyes were covered by his hair, but after a few seconds he showed a smile. It seems you don't understand, right? Raizer? What? Note. Insert Dante's soundtrack from Devil May Cry 5, let's continue. Issei. I didn't heal you so that you would be intact or any of the nonsense you say. I healed you so that I can continue to avenge my friends for what you did in the raiding game, since with those injuries you had you wouldn't be able to last. The next blows you would receive, but since you still have those great airs believing you are the best of all, he began to clench his fists while his wide aura began to leave his body. I will show you my maximum powers. At that, the entire place begins to shake, while in the stands, everyone, full of fear, grabbed onto whatever they could to avoid succumbing to the tremor. Those from the occult club, as well as the Mayu and Grafia, were speechless due to the immense power of the black-haired man since he surpassed them with increases. Rias? Issei, what are you planning to do? He said it while he observed the black-haired man, and the others asked themselves the same question. Saphira. Hey Rias, you can tell Issei-kun not to expel so much power, otherwise the place of the fight could be distorted. He said it while he held onto his trill, so as not to succumb to the tremor, plus he was totally speechless due to the immense power of the black-haired man who was far superior to his own, which was the current Satan. Rias. I don't think he'll be able to hear me with that enormous noise that is heard because of the power that one Isama expels. He said it while he was holding on to a pillar, and the others did the same. While in the fight. Raizer. What did you just say? He was filled with fear since he realized that the black-haired man's power was far superior to his own. Issei. Just like you heard it, I will show you here and now in front of everyone. My maximum power and my final transformation. Observe the power of this low-class demon. Issei would rise to the sky, to which a large field of golden energy surrounds him. Everyone was speechless by the spectacle they were seeing. Rias. Issei covering his eyes due to the great brightness. But what are you trying to do? Issei. The Keno. This glow is too strong. I can't see anything. Asia. Issei-san, but what are you trying to achieve? She was worried as she covered her eyes in the same way. Kaneko. I don't see. Nothing. Kiba. Issei-kun, what are you doing? I cannot see anything. Saphira. Grafia, can you see something? Covering his eyes. Grafia. I'm sorry Saphira-sama, my vision cannot capture anything because of the brightness. She said it while he imitated the action of his mistress. No one could see absolutely anything because of the great brightness until they heard a brewer. Everyone confused, trying to see what that was until what they see leaves them speechless. Rias. Saphira. Is that a giant monkey? Everyone was in shock. A golden-colored monkey had come out of the energy field, but it only lasted a short time, as they saw that the gigantic monkey growled for the second time and was covered in a great golden glow. Keno. And now what's happening? What is going to happen now? This got its answer when they saw that after 10 seconds, everyone looked at the battlefield again. When they did, they caught a small golden aura, but it was enormously powerful. It was so strong that even the beast of the apocalypse Trihixa would be a toy before the gigantic power. When they saw the owner of the aura and recognized the red and black outfits, it was Issei. Everyone was completely speechless from the impression. The change was totally drastic. Issei. What happened to him? While in the fight, Issei descended before Raizer, who was with his face full of dread and total fear. He made the worst mistake of his life by accepting this fight, and he was just realizing it. Raizer. Hey wait. We can talk about it, just listen to what I have to say. He was scared to death by the omnipresent appearance that the black-haired man had. In addition to the terrifying power that felt, a great trauma was forming in his mind. Issei just lands in front of him while he looks at him seriously. Issei SSJ4. This is my final form or final transformation, Super Saiyan 4. Do you realize the enormous difference there is between us? I'll tell you an extra piece of information. In all this time I have not used my boosted gear at any time. The power you saw from me is my own power, but what I used of my power at the beginning was only 3%. But right now, I am at my 100%. He said it without further ado, scaring absolutely everyone present without exception. This is where the appearance of the boosted gear manifests itself. Greg. To all who witnessed this duel, what my bearer says is the absolute truth. At no time has he used my power. in fact he doesn't even need it. If he wants it he can kill all of you without any effort. Remember that all of you, especially those who are arrogant and extremely proud of their lineage and see the reincarnated as inferior beings like this stupid phoenix who is now paying the consequences, contain the most powerful security in all of history, Hyoudou Issei. Those who had a pride equal to Raizer saw Issei with absolute hatred and contempt. How is it possible for an inferior being who possesses dirty human blood to have such superior power? Very soon they would teach the Seiya a good lesson. Note. Ha, good luck with that, let's continue. Issei SSJ4. It won't cause me any pride to eliminate a despicable being like you starting to walk towards Raizer. It doesn't fit into my head to see how you hurt my friends mercilessly while putting on that arrogant smile full of pride. In addition to I enjoyed seeing them suffer. I can't forgive that, damn it. Raizer. Shut up, I do whatever the damn wants to me, you're no one to interpose in my business. You damn monster. He throws a fireball in the black-haired man's face, causing a cloud of smoke. When the smoke disappears, Issei was seen intact, something more than too obvious. He still maintained his serious look while he saw the Akatori, who became increasingly terrified. Issei SSJ4. Ah, another thing, when Saphira-chan made her appearance in front of everyone you were filled with fear, and both she and Grafia-chan looked at you with disgust and some hatred. I took the trouble to mentally ask Drake to please look at both of their memories and show it to me. On one occasion you wanted to overdo it with Saphira-chan, and without waiting she left you dying on the floor with her power of destruction. Days later you wanted to do the same with Grafia-chan. When you touched a delicate part of her, she responded with a strong slap. You, full of courage and anger, tried to hit her back, but Saphira-chan intervened and left you on the ground again. Then you left the place with great anger. Saphira-chan didn't say anything since he didn't want to ruin the Gremory family's friendship with the Phoenix family. But that can't go unnoticed by me, he said it, while clenching his fists and lightning bolts came out of it. In the stands, everyone was speechless at Issei's revelation. The first to react was Rias. Rias. One-sama, Grafia-ni, is that right? Looking seriously at both. Saphira. Yes, that was done a few days ago. Besides, the reason why I didn't tell it is the same reason that Issei-kun said. But I never thought that Issei-kun had great intuition to notice my hatred towards Raizer. Grafia. The good thing is that nothing bad happened. Nobody said anything and it was better to continue watching the meeting. Well, with the meeting. Issei SSJ4. Now I have more reasons to erase you from the face of this world. Raizer. Shut up without waiting for anything else. He receives a powerful blow to the entire stomach, which left him gasping for air, courtesy of a Super Saiyan 4. Issei SSJ4. This is for going too far with Saphira-chan and Grafia-chan. You are no one to treat women like that, you respect ladies, and it was also for daring to advance the day of the rating game. When there were only 2 days left until it started, he had a sharp look while he had his fist stuck in the Akatori's stomach. Raizer. Ugh. Ga ga ga. Pua. Raizer looked like a waterfall from the amount of saliva he spit out while he was gasping for air. In the stands, both the beautiful Mayu and the Hexi maid had a nice blush on their faces due to the black-haired man's act. He gave a strong blow to the hateful Yakitori for offending them in such a depraved way, something that almost no man does. Issei SSJ4. The next 50 hits you will receive are for the beatings and mistreatment that both Kiba and Kaneko-chan received in the judging game. And without further ado, Issei begins to give the Phoenix a series of blows and kicks throughout the body and all parts of the body, face, stomach, arms and legs. No part was saved from the fury of the most powerful security of all eternity. In the last blow, Issei gives him a strong kick in the face that sends him flying into the sky. While he joins his hands and places them on the right side of his waist. Issei SSJ4. Now you will pay for what you did to Akeno-san. You mistreated her non-stop in the judging game. You even marked her white and silky skin with your blows. That is unforgivable. Ka. Me. A large sphere of very luminous blue energy would form in the hands of Super Saiyan 4, and without further ado, Super Saiyan 4 launched the attack without further ado towards the Phoenix, which received it fully, while a gigantic smoke screen was created by the powerful explosion. When the smoke dissipated, a Phoenix was seen all injured and bleeding. Raizer. Wait. Please. Have mercy. Don't you see how important this marriage is? It is to preserve the pure blood of the next generations of underworld demons. Someone like you who knows nothing about this should not interfere. Let me achieve this compromise. Please, I ask you. Finally the Akatori begs for his life, but. Issei SSJ4. You have to be kidding me. He throws a golden sphere at him, which makes his wounds heal completely. The final blow is still missing. And you will feel it with your whole healthy body. This is what makes me most angry of everything. He kicks her powerfully, drawing blood, and is sent to heaven again, while Issei brings out the golden aura from him with a face of total anger. Issei SSJ4. What infuriated me the most was that because of you and your stupidities. Rias. My Rias. Rias that I love was crying that day, and you will pay for that with your miserable life. He just flew towards the Akatori, while a strange golden light covered one of the fists of Super Saiyan 4. But in the stands there were many jealous faces, but only one had a very noticeable blush, and that was the pretty Rias Gremory, who had a big party in his heart. His feelings had been reciprocated, but all the girls around him had angry faces, even his sister did not hide her jealousy. Rias. Issei loves me. This is true. I must be dreaming. Right now she had the best happiness in the world, however. Saphira. Wait, getting up from his throne as he watched Issei fly towards the Akatori. Do you really plan to kill him? That is, it is true that he did unpleasant things, but he does not deserve death. She was speechless because of the action that the black-haired man was going to commit. Rias. It can't be. Issei, stop, do not do it. Everyone wanted to stop the black-haired man so that he would not stain his hands with someone who is not worth it, but the distance was too far for him to hear them. Meanwhile, Issei had already accumulated the energy necessary for the final blow. Issei SSJ4. Raizer, this is for making Rias cry. Receive my best technique. Everyone would notice a strange shape on Issei's fist. When they identified it, they all said at the same time. Everyone. Is that a dragon? Issei SSJ4. Goodbye, Raizer Phoenix Dragon Strike. The powerful golden-colored dragon came out of Issei's fist in the direction of Raizer, which he only said, Raizer. Mom, help me, the dragon is going to eat me. And without further ado, Raizer was devoured by the immense dragon, causing a strong light explosion. No one had words for what they saw. Raizer was devoured by a dragon that came out of Issei's fist. When everything calmed down, a very bloody Raizer was seen, and in a state of unconsciousness that fell towards the earth, but something happened. It began to disintegrate into very luminous blue particles, and that drag manifests itself. Drag. Partner, when the phoenix completely dissolves it will have died. You have achieved it. You have won this fight for the liberation of the Gremory. Issei SSJ4. Yes. I. No. But. Issei looked towards the phoenix house. Both the mother, father and sister were crying inconsolably since their son was going to die. He also saw his friends with sad faces. Apparently they did not want the death of the phoenix. Issei saw Rias and Saphira, who had a sad look, wanted the phoenix to receive a lesson, but not its death. Issei definitely made a wrong decision. He thought about it for a few moments until he came to a decision. Issei SSJ4. Damn. Chapter 5, Issei's Decision and Confession of Love. Issei watched as his friends and the Phoenix family sadly saw Raizer disintegrating little by little as he died, but the most affected were the Akatori family, as they cried for the irreparable loss of one of their family. Issei, after seeing this, only reached to a decision. Issei SSJ4. Damn. This creates a blue sphere with luminous particles and throws it at the phoenix, creating a great glow that did not allow anything to be seen. When the glow passed, and Issei was seen charging of the shirt to an unconscious Raizer, but his entire body was healed and complete, which impressed those present, especially the Phoenix family. Rias. I saved him. I spared his life. Thank you, Issei. You still have that kind heart, and that's why I love you. Everyone was happy for the decision that Issei made, and even more so was the Phoenix clan for allowing them to continue living with his son. While Issei continued with Raizer holding onto his shirt, he had a little curiosity. Issei SSJ4. Raizer. Were you always this arrogant and with those grand airs? Let's take a look. He would close his eyes while a wide aura surrounded him, and Raizer, Issei was trying to see the Akatori's memories and managed to access them. Raizer's memories. In a large room, a small blonde boy of about 10 years old is seen looking with a happy smile at his father and mother, who looked at him with love, as well as a small baby who was in her mother's arms who looked happy. And he moved his little arms. At that the child says a few words. Kid Raizer. Mom, Dad, when I grow up you'll see, I will be the best heir of our house, and I will keep our prestige great. I will make my little sister feel proud of me. Looking at little Ravel, who was playing with the locks of his mother, I will be a great leader, and I will demonstrate the strength and determination of our Phoenix family. He said all this with a big smile. Lady Phoenix. I know that you will do very well, love, you are someone strong and kind-hearted, you will be a great heir. She said it with a maternal smile of those that only mothers know how to give. Lord Phoenix. You are someone capable, my little Raizer. The Phoenix house will rest well in your hands. You are someone pure who will know what is best. We trust you, and we love you, he said it, stroking the boy's hair, who only laughed. So the four of them stayed laughing and spending time as a family. End of the memory. Issei was speechless from what he saw. He couldn't believe it. That's when Drake makes an appearance. Drake. Are you serious? How can it be possible that this child full of determination and who promised so much for his clan is this arrogant and hateful bastard? He did not believe what he saw. Issei SSJ4. The truth is I don't know. But he gave a long sigh and for the first time looked at Raizer with some empathy until he began to speak. Yes, I understand well, you have been since a child. You sought the best for your nobility and you wanted your parents to feel proud of you, which you earned a long time ago. However, at some point in your life, you deviated from the path you were traveling and you began to see things in a different light. Wrong way, your memories say it all. This one said it looking at the unconscious Phoenix. But Issei did not realize that he was still seen by everyone through the screen where the rating game was broadcast. Everyone was amazed by the words that the Saiyan said to the unconscious Yakitori, but even more so was the Phoenix family. Asia. Issei-san, what is he talking about? What does he mean by his memories? She did not understand the words that came out of SSJ4. Kaneko. Apparently Issei-senpai acquired a strange ability that allows him to see into the memories of others that left the others speechless. Bakeno. But how? Kaneko. Maybe it's one of the many unknown abilities that Issei-senpai acquired along with that new body. Well, that's my theory, I said it looking analytically at SSJ4. Rafia. Awesome. Giba. And I'm sure he has many more surprises to show us for later, he said it smiling while he watched Issei descend with the Phoenix. Issei SSJ4. I'm going to tell you the truth, Raizer, I had planned to kill you in this fight, but when I saw the faces of your parents and my friends, I realized that it wasn't worth getting my hands dirty for something unimportant and absurd. Furthermore, your parents still hope that you can see your mistakes and return to being the person who promised so much for their family. And that is why they forgive you. Because I believe so too. A leader guides his people, does not subdue them and fills their minds with arrogance and bad things. I hope you understand after this. Nobody said anything because of the words that came out of the Saiyan, because he spoke like a person with life experience, even though he was only 18 years old. Saphira. Are you really 18 years old? Because his way of speaking shows the opposite. But I like it. Rias. I don't like that face, he said it looking at his older sister. Issei finally arrives with the Phoenix patriarchs and, even a meter from the ground, he lets him fall, being hugged by his family who were crying, grateful that the Saiyan had spared his life. Issei smiled a little and turned to leave, but someone stopped him. Ravel. Wait, why did you let my brother live? Why did you spare his life? No matter how much I think about it, I don't understand it. This one didn't understand why the Saiyan left him alive. Issei without turning around responded. Issei SSJ4. Because he has a promise to keep with his family, I hope that after this he returns to the correct path that he once walked and that he does not fall through the traps again. Wrong paths that left Yakitori's parents speechless, but they only smiled in agreement with the SSJ4's words, although Ravel did not understand anything. Lady Phoenix. Thank you very much Security-sama, thank you for letting my son live, she said it with tears hugging the unconscious Phoenix. Lord Phoenix. I cannot thank you enough for sparing the life of our son, we are truly very grateful Security-sama, he said it while bowing. Issei SSJ4. Please don't do that, Lord Phoenix, I don't feel comfortable doing that, just a thank you is enough, he said it even without turning around, which in the eyes of the older Phoenix made him look great, and the Phoenix leader smiled for the attitude of the Saiyan who was simple, humble and not at all proud. Ravel. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to continue with my brother Security-sama, he said it with a bow. Issei SSJ4. Just call me Issei, that's my name, he said turning around to give him a smile. Ravel. Well, thank you very much. Issei-sama, she couldn't help the fact that the Saiyan's smile was a little wild, but that made him look more masculine, it's very cute. Phoenix's parents noticed her daughter's reaction, so they laughed. Lady Phoenix. Wow, it seems that spring has come to my little Ravel, he said it with giggles. Ravel. Mom, he said it with a red face, don't confuse things. Lord Phoenix. I accepted immediately, he said he was happy as he felt that the Security immediately gained his trust because of his humble and compassionate heart. But then a communication circle appeared, but it emanated a black aura. When he saw who they were, he was scared by the chilling smiles they gave him, while a murderous aura surrounded them both, growing every second. Rias. Wow, Lord Phoenix, I would like to know what you accepted immediately, curiosity invades me. Saphira. Ara, I am also interested in knowing what I accept, Lord Phoenix, could you explain it to me? But she did not hide her face, it was not for nothing that she was the current Satan. He did not know how to react because of the fear that both Gremory sisters produced, but then his wife approached the communication circle with a nice smile looking at both Gremory, and she only said one thing. Lady Phoenix. Curiosity killed the catgirl, she said it while she put a finger to the screen. Ria Saphira. What? Wait, don't you dare, Lady Foe, very late since communication is disabled. Issei looked at everything confused. Issei SSJ4. What just happened? This one didn't understand a damn. Greg. Partner, you won one without you realizing it, that's unique, haha, he said it between laughs. Issei still didn't understand, but he ignored it since he thought it wasn't important. Issei SSJ4. Well, I won, so the engagement is broken, I hope we get along well, and that, without further ado, I say goodbye. Have a nice night, said the Saiyan with a smile and without further ado, taking out his aura to fly and leaving them alone to the Phoenix family. Ravel. I hope to see him again, Security-sama, he said it watching the Saiyan who was leaving his sight, so he is back with his parents helping them carry Raizer to take him to the infirmary. Issei returned to the battlefield, placing himself in the middle of the place, while he returned to his base state and he began to clear his throat, returning to his normal voice. Issei. Hey, it's all over, what's supposed to happen next? This one was waiting for a response. And that a voice is heard through a tier of communication. Rafia. The rating game has ended. Raizer Phoenix has been defeated. The winner of this match was Hyoudou. Issei, the current security, he said without further ado, cutting off the communication. Issei felt happy since he fulfilled his promise, and in that, Issei looked up from him because he heard someone calling him, and that's when he saw her. Issei. Rias. He is going to fall, he said this worried. Note. How stupid this website is, I already forgot that she is a demon. Let's continue. Issei flew in her direction to catch her. As he did so he felt Rias hug him with love and strength. Rias. Thank you Issei, my Issei, you have freed me from my nightmare. Issei. I promised you, right? I told you I would get you out of this. He said it with a big girl smile that made the Redid blush and hug his pawn harder while he smiled. After all, I'm your pawn. He. Rias. Huh. Letting it go just that. I mean, I understand. Thank you Issei. Her look at him, joy of him changed to one of sadness as he lowered his head. Issei understood the situation perfectly, so he took a deep breath, but his nerves were noticeable, so with his willpower, he lifted the Redid's chin and gave her a smile. Issei. I never thought that you would have feelings towards someone like me, a pervert of the worst. But that old self disappeared completely, and the weak Issei that you reincarnated also left, but the price to obtain the power that you witnessed and at the same time to be able to get rid of this matter was to abandon my face and my old body. I hope you can get used to this new me. I said it a little nervous to know the Redid's response, but he feels like Rias hugs him again. Rias. You are still Issei, the kind Issei that I knew, the Issei who despite his weakness, always offered to help, and that is something that still lasts in you. That is why regardless of the changes I continue to accept you as you are. You are, he said it happily, burying his face in the Saiyan's chest. Issei felt happy that Rias had accepted him with his new appearance. But at that moment he felt a tickle on his chest. He looked down and saw Rias making circles with her finger around his pecs. At the same time he had a lustful look and a perverted smile. I even swore I heard the Redid say things like, look at these pecs, those arms, or Satan, is this statuesque body real? I must be dreaming. Hearing all that made the Saiyan sweat drop, since that look and those words reminded him of his old self. Greg. I don't believe it. Now Gremory has become a pervert. Ha. But look at the good thing, my friend, now he's dying for you. Just look at the hunger he has for you with his eyes. Something that didn't happen with your old you. The Welsh dragon had tears coming out of laughter at his partner's situation. He laughed so much that he took his time to take a breath and laugh himself to death again. Issei. You better shut up because you're not helping anything. Greg. Okay partner, taking a breath, I leave you, I'm going to sleep, see you. Issei would take a long sigh and then say the following. Issei. President no. Rias, he said with nervousness in his voice. Rias. Huh. She was surprised because Issei called her by her name again. At first she thought it was because he forgot what he should call her, but now she knew that he wanted to call her that way, for which she felt happy, but she felt very nervous without knowing why, so I remained silent to know the response of her nerves. Yes Issei. Issei. Rias, I want to be with you forever. That night at the training camp what I told you was true, I don't care about it. Not the least your last name or that you are of a known nobility. You made me fall in love with you for who you were, a beautiful girl who always cared about others. Everyone was amazed by the words of the most powerful security of all eternity. He was confessing in the middle of the battlefield to the Redid, although the girl's jealousy could not be hidden, they were all jealous. Saphira. This time it will be your triumphant moment, my little sister. Tch. Rafia. Saphira-sama, I know that like Leviatham-sama you like cosplay, but could you take off those horns? She must show respect like the Mao. Saphira. Nope, I like wearing them. He was the only thing he said, making the maid sigh from her. Meanwhile Rias was with her hand on her chest, not believing what she was hearing from the Saiyan, even she was beginning to tear up with happiness. Rias. Issei.you are my, she said it with her hands over her mouth, already knowing what Issei was going to tell her. Issei. That's why I damn Rias. Rias, would you go out with me? This did not end with his words because of the next thing that happened. He received a kiss full of love from the Redid which made him happy, and he reciprocated immediately. It lasted about 10 seconds due to lack of oxygen. When they separated they both saw each other with looks full of love. Rias. I will go out with you only if you call me by my name from now on, she said as winking at him. Issei. Of course, Rias, she said this with a Goku-style smile. So would you be my girlfriend? Rias. Of course I will be your girlfriend, my Issei, she said. She is happy. They both kissed again with love, but this time it was interrupted. Some rays were directed at Ria's face, but this one she dodges it. This one she looked up from her to see the person responsible. The Keno. Ara, sorry, I slipped fufufu. But the next one won't slip, so stop. But you, he said that last thing with a chilling voice that chilled those present, Issei included. Rias, for her part, only smiled triumphantly while sticking out her tongue at the black-haired girl, who was burning with anger inside, but she knew that she had to endure it, since this was Ria's moment, so she was forced to endure it. Issei. Let's better go back to the others. Issei grabs Rias by the waist and places 2 fingers on her forehead, so they both disappear from the place and appear in front of everyone in the club, surprising them with that ability, but more to Rias, since she was the first to present such a technique. Rias. Issei, what was that? Issei. That was my teleportation technique. Kaneko. Issei senpai, why don't we feel any magic in that technique? This one was very curious. Note. Be careful, Kaneko, curiosity killed the cat. An infernal silence was appreciated. Okay, I better keep quiet, let's continue. Issei. Because I didn't use magic, I used Kai. That confused those present. All? Kai. What's that? Everyone was confused, but one person was not, and this person was going to answer the question. Kaneko. Kai is the spiritual energy that every living being has inside, whether human or animal, every living being has Kai. Issei. That's Kaneko-chan, well done. She said it while stroking the Nico's hair, which made her blush for the first time. Kaneko. But Issei senpai, how were you able to get your Kai out? Issei. That's something I'll explain at a time. For now, where are Ria's parents? He had a serious look, but then someone spoke. Here we are, young. Issei turned around and saw a beautiful woman with short brown hair and a white dress with some jewels that adorned her, and she looked a lot like Ria's, and he also saw a man of about 30 years old, who had long characteristic red hair. Of the Gremory family, both saw the Saiyan with a smile. Issei. It is a pleasure to meet you. Bowing as agreed, Rias is free since I won the match, therefore she is free, right? Venelana. That's right, by the way, my name is Venelana Gremory, I am the mother of Rias and Saphira. It is a pleasure to meet you, Securitas, and she said it with a smile at the Saiyan, but Issei stared at her analytically without showing expression, that made those present nervous. Venelana. What's happening? She was nervous because of the way Issei saw her. Rias. Issei. Issei. Oh sorry, I just agreed with a saying that I remember. He said it with his hands behind his head while he laughed. Saphira. A saying. Joining the conversation. What kind of saying? Issei. Well, one that says, young man, if you want to know what that girl will be like in the future, you just have to see her mother as she is currently, and you will have the answer. Now I know why Rias is so beautiful, and so are you, Saphira-chan, so they took Venelana-chan. Haha, he said it without mincing words. Rias, Saphira and even Venelana blushed at the Saiyan's compliment. It was the first time that someone praised them in that way, and then some laughter was heard from the red-haired man. Zeoticus. Hahaha, it's the first time I've met someone as honest as you. I like you, young man, it's a pleasure. My name is Zeoticus Gremory, I am the father of Rias and Saphira, he said, stretching out his hand. Issei. I say the same, Mr. Gremory, he said, reciprocating the greeting. Zeoticus. Well, I think we owe our little youngest daughter an apology. We didn't know how to listen to her opinion, and all this happened. Rias, can you forgive this pair of bad parents who didn't know how to listen to your opinions? Rias. Of course, yes, hugging her parents. I just hope this doesn't happen again with One-sama. Saphira. Oh, believe me, Rias, it won't happen with me. She said it while she gave a loving smile to Issei, who immediately got nervous. Greg. Apparently you noticed, partner. She said it with fun. Issei. Yes, but I better not say anything, and I'll pretend I didn't see anything. Venelana. By the way, thank you, Securite-san, you do know how to praise, not like Raizer. Issei. And the one who told him. Venelana did not want to answer, and at that Saphira approaches Issei's ear and tells him. Saphira. He told my mother that she is so beautiful that he would do it to her right now without hesitation. After hearing that, Issei just sighed and shook his head from side to side in denial. Raizer definitely needed therapy. Note. I don't want to hear that from someone who was a hopeless pervert in the past, let's move on. Issei. Venelana-sama did well not to say it, but well, in any case the engagement is broken. This. Yo, you know. Well. What I feel for Rias. I love her. Zeoticus. I accept it. Venelana. And me too. Issei was surprised by the quick and positive response of the Gremory patriarchs, but he was happy, and Rias was even more happy by the approval of their parents. Issei. Laughing that being the case, then. Shall we go, Rias? Stretching out his hand. Rias. Yes, my Issei holding the Saiyan's hand. Venelana. Wait, Rias, take this. He hands her a transportation seal and a small chest. Rias. And this, Oka-sama. The brunette approaches her daughter's ear and tells her the following. Venelana. This seal will transport you and the Securite to the place where your father and I conceived you. Rias blushed at what she heard, and this chest contains what I used with your father that night. She said it without further ado, making the daughter blush of the. Rias. Wait, Oka-sama, you want me to? Venelana. Rias, you must mark ground with him from now on, don't you notice how the girls of your peerage see him? You should make your move, but now, I feel bad for Saphira, but the security fought for you today, so this belongs to you. Rias was impressed by that, but she was absolutely right, she should act now. Rias. Yes, if you say it, Oka-sama, I will do it, thanks for the idea, she said. She was still embarrassed. Then Alana. In fact, it was your father's idea, Fufufu. That confused Rias, but she decided not to ask and returned to Issei. Issei. Is everything okay, Rias? Rias. Yes, look, Issei, my parents prepared a special place for you and me, could we go there? She said it looking sweetly at Issei. Issei. Sure, if that's what you want, she said it with a big smile. Rias. Perfect, in that case we will leave this. She would prepare the transportation seal where a red light would illuminate both. Well, my servants, I will see you tomorrow. Issei. Goodbye friends, see you tomorrow. Without anyone being able to say anything, they both disappear in a magic circle. Then Alana. Very well everyone, let's go to the mansion so we can eat and rest for this day that was full of surprises. Everyone accepts and leaves with Alana, but the girls have the same thought. Saphira. I have a bad feeling. Akeno. I have a bad feeling. Asia. I have a bad feeling. Hineko. I have a bad feeling. So everyone went straight to the Gremory mansion. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, in some mountains, you could see a female silhouette looking at the moonlight, but this one had a hunch. The only thing that could be seen was that she had hair similar to Ria's, but it was a scarlet tone. I have a bad feeling, but I don't know why, she said it while she held a sword tightly. Meanwhile, Issei and Rias arrived at what seemed to be a beach overlooking the sea. Both were impressed as they saw the stars. It was night obviously, then they both turned around and saw a more beautiful luxurious cabin, courtesy of the Gremory patriarchs. Rias. So I was conceived here, huh? She said it obviously in her thoughts. Issei. It's very nice, shall we go in? Rias. Of course love. So both of them holding hands entered the cabin. Issei was impressed by the luxuries. Issei, I'm going to go take a bath, could you wait for me? Issei. Sure, go and enjoy it, he said without any hint of perversion. Rias is amazed by not seeing a trace of perversion in her pawn and now boyfriend. She felt happy since she saw that the perverted Issei that she knew left, which made him more attractive. Before taking a bath, she opens the chest that her mother gave her, and she is shocked by what she found. The only thing Rias said when she saw what she found was, did Oka-sama really use this with my father to conceive me? This is too daring. After that event, Rias enters the shower while Issei sits at the window to appreciate the endless stars that adorn the sky. While in the shower. Note. She opened the chest in another room where Issei is not present obviously. Let's continue. After that she looks at the beautiful crimson princess of destruction, thinking about some things. Rias. Oka-sama is right, I should make my move now, besides Issei is my boyfriend, and I would be the first to do this. I'm nervous, but I shouldn't show it. Also, Akeno is right, Issei turned into an appetizing piece of meat that is a pleasure not to eat in its entirety. That face that looks like that of a child, that sweet and sincere smile, those wild hairs that make him look handsome, and that well-toned body that he acquired. If his chest and arms are that hard, what will it be like down there? Rias. 34. 37. No, it must be 40, what if it is 43? And how thick will it be? It doesn't matter, I'll find out very soon, he said it. Well, many dirty thoughts invaded his mind, although I still can't believe that I'm going to use what Oka-sama used with Odo-sama, but I think it's tailored to me. Fufufu, get ready, Issei. Well, with Issei, he got tired of seeing the starry sky, so he toured the cabin. He was happy because he found another shower in the cabin room, since he wanted to take a bath, so he just went in, and he takes a bath. After 10 minutes he is seen leaving the bathroom. Issei. Phew, it's good that I found another shower coming out with only his black boxers. Yes, there is something that I like, it's being clean. I wonder when Rias will come out. He got the response from him upon hearing the door of the room open, and he will turn to see her. Oh Rias, I see that you already left as you are. Rias. He was shocked when he saw the redeed. She was wearing a very provocative outfit that would make any man's imagination fly, and Issei is not the exception. He was speechless. Rias. Fufufu, do you like what you see, my Issei? He said it while he approached him, moving his hips in a sensual way, because this is just the beginning, and without further ado he throws Issei to the bed. Black boxers, eh? Issei, you are very bad, he said it while licking his lips to see the Saiyan's body in all its splendor. Issei. Rias. He was not able to articulate a single word because he saw the redeed in that suit. Rias. Fufufu, get ready, my Issei, it's just you and I in this place, we can scream all we want, and no one will listen to us, let's go crazy tonight, Issei. He said that last thing with a sensual voice, and that was the trigger for the warrior and savage hormones of the Saiyan Hyoudou Issei to boil to the maximum. Issei. I will mark you as mine. Rias, he said the redeed's name, changing his voice to Goku's. An intense night was about to come, there was no doubt about it. While inside the boosted gear. Greg. Why do I feel like I won't be able to sleep? He said it while he turned around to get comfortable and go back to sleep. And well, my faithful, without further ado, here they had chapter 5. I'm sorry for the delay, it's just that laziness controls me. Hey, it rhymes, and without further ado, I'll see you another time. Chapter 6 Angst Demon Lemon Issei. I will mark you as mine. Rias the Saiyan said the name of the redeed, changing his voice to that of Goku, and without further ado he throws the redeed onto the bed, while the Saiyan hormones demanded that Greedos claim the redeed as his. Rias. Issei, don't make me wait, I want us to enjoy together tonight. She said it with a red face and a slightly perverted voice. Issei. Oh, don't worry Rias, we have quite the night. She said it while he gently lowered himself through the redeed's body until he reached her legs. Rias. Issei. She said it, she was nervous. Issei. I want to start from here. Lemon skipped, please read it on website. So they continued having rough and uncontrolled sex all night. The good thing is that the cabin was near the sea, because otherwise no person could sleep because of the screams of pleasure that could be heard in that house. The next morning, at 11 a.m. you could see Redeed and Issei with wild hair sleeping peacefully while they were tightly embraced and with a smile of total satisfaction. Then they both began to wake up. Rias. Good morning honey, she said it with a seductive look. Issei. Yawning, good morning love, she said it with Goku's smile. Rias. That last night was spectacular, I can barely believe it was real, she said it, remembering everything that happened. How many times did we do it? I lost count. Fufu. She giggled at what was said. Issei. Well, the truth is I don't even remember. But well, it doesn't matter. Rias. Hey, holding Issei's hand, how about we take a bath together? She said it with a nice smile. Issei. Are you sure? I do not want to inconvenience you. Rias. But what do you say, giving him a short loving kiss? Each one has already seen the other's body, so there is nothing to hide anymore, right? She said it with a seductive smile. Issei. I guess you're right. Well then let's get into it. And so they both entered the bathroom together, in that you could see the caresses and loving kisses that they both gave each other while they were bathing. Issei. Thinking now Rias looks the same as always, I no longer feel those depraved airs that she had last night. Well, I won't give the matter any more thought, whatever happens from now on has to happen. So without further ado, they both continued lovingly bathing while inside Issei. Greg. Okay, Gremory was direct when she slept with my partner, but well, my partner also realized that her attitude was different from what it usually is. I don't know how to tell my partner that I transferred all the perversion of his old body to the Gremory. The good thing is that he will only show that depraved personality when he is in the act with my partner. Even so, I don't know how my partner will take it. When I tell him about this, maybe I'd better keep the secret. Besides, my partner doesn't dislike the depraved attitude of the Crimson Princess, rather he likes it. Well, that way we're all happy. I'm just going to go to sleep. Well my friends, that's it for this chapter. I hope you liked it. Damn, my first time making lemon, and I don't know if I did it right, but hey, no one is perfect. I may have one or another mistake there. Just see you later. In the next chapter we will see. Back to the forest, don't miss it. Chapter 7 Back to the forest. After that beautiful night, Issei and Rias would get ready with their normal clothes to return to Japan, but in that Issei sees something that left him in shock. Issei. Rias. Happened to you? Because you? He saw how his beloved Redeed shed tears. Rias. Don't worry, I said it smiling even with tears in my eyes. I'm crying with happiness because I finally found someone who loves me not by my name, but like a normal girl. She hugs him. You will always be with me, right Issei? Issei. Returning the hug, of course Rias, you and I will always be together, I promise that, right? I love you and I will always be there to protect you, care for you and value you. Rias. Thank you Issei. Although it will be difficult for me to share you, she said it somewhat uncomfortable about the topic. Issei. Huh? What do you mean? Rias. That's right, I noticed how the others besides me were watching you, it seems like your dream is being forged little by little. Issei. Rias taking her hands. I want you to know that I gave up that absurd dream I had. I realized that it was something silly. Now that I have you, with you it is more than enough to be happy. He said it with his smile. Goku marks, making the Redeed blush for his words. Rias. I know, but you know. Not only did I want you all to myself, she never crossed my mind, I hadn't even thought about that. Issei. How? Looking at his beloved in amazement. Rias. As the president. From what you told me that night in the garden of the training ground. I alone. I wanted you to call me by my name. I wanted you to call me Rias. That was the whim I had, it was the only thing I wanted with greed and ambition. I thought I would have to wait too long for that, but fortunately that was not the case, and I thank you. Issei. Lifting her chin. You won't have to worry about that anymore, I feel more comfortable calling you by your name, you know. I'm happy you allowed me to call you that. Rias. And I'm happy that you do it. They both share a tender kiss that lasts 20 seconds, then the Saiyan grabs the Redeed by the waist while he puts 2 fingers on her forehead. Issei. Shall we go back to the city? Rias. Of course my Issei huging the Saiyan's arm. Let's go back to the others, but tell me, would you continue with your old dream? Maybe it seems ironic and impossible to believe but I would feel too bad if I had you all to myself. I feel like I am doing irreparable damage to others. Issei takes a long deep sigh. I won't promise you anything. But I'll think about it, okay? Rias. Okay, and thank you. I feel more relieved if you accept. It's better for me if you make us all happy. Can I ask you something else? Issei. Yes. Rias. Don't have favorites, love us all equally. Clinging to the Saiyan's chest. Issei just smiles, and without further ado they both disappear from the place. Back in the city of Kuo, more precisely in the occult club, all the members were gathered. Bekeno. Ara, when will Butchu return? And where did he go with Issei-kun? He said that last thing with jealousy in his voice. Hiba. Don't worry, they'll be back, it's only been a day. Kaneko. One day is more than enough to do many things. Hyoudou-senpai. He said it with his typical serious expression. Asia. Come on, they only left for one day, we have to wait for them to return, and they must already be on their way. And as if God himself had heard her, the Saiyan and the Reed appear in front of everyone in the club, surprising those present. Issei. Hello everyone, we're back. He said it with Goku's smile. Rias. I missed you all, I'm glad you're okay. He said it with a smile, looking at his feet, who reciprocated the gesture. But, Bekeno. Ara Butchu, can you tell me why she returns burned to Issei-kun, besides being so together and loving? He said it with a tender smile on his face, but everyone felt hostility and murderous instinct in that smile, a clear and obvious example of his jealousy. Issei. Akeno-san, calm down, okay? I don't like seeing you like this, it's better when you're happy. He said it smiling, immediately calming the black-haired girl, and she hugs him. Akeno. Yes, Issei-kun wants to see me like this, well, that's how he will see me. He said it by tightening his hug on the black-haired man. Issei. Well, going on to something more important. Releasing him from the hug. Did the marks you had disappear? Bekeno. Don't worry Issei-kun, thanks to you I'm much better, see? She lowered her blouse a little on her arm, showing her skin without the bruises. Thank you for the help Issei-kun, rest assured that I will reward you. Fufu. This one spoke to him with the most sensual voice ever. She had. Issei. That's fine, thank you, he said, looking away immediately. He feels that someone is pulling him by the dogi. The Saiyan looks down, seeing little Kaneko. Kaneko. Issei-senpai, I know it's sudden, but could you tell us all what happened to you? Why did his face change? And above all, because his power is much greater than that of all of us. That caught the attention of absolutely everyone in the club. They had forgotten to ask the Saiyan that question. Issei. Sigh. I guess it's time to say what happened to me, don't you think, Dreg? That's when the gauntlet appears. Dreg. It's your decision, partner, although I think you can tell them everything now since they are trustworthy. The whole club. Did that glove just talk? Issei. It is the spirit of the Red Emperor Dragon, known as the Welsh Dragon, Dreg, which participated in the ancient war of the three factions and was imprisoned in this sacred gear by God. The Saiyan said it with pride in his words. Rias. I see, it's a pleasure to meet you. Securite Samashi. This she bowed like everyone else in the club. Dreg. Come on, it's not that big of a deal. A hello was enough. I would have reacted proudly to the respectful greeting. Maybe I was infected by the humble influence of my bearer. Haha. This one said it with laughter. By the way, partner, why don't we do the same thing I did with you? Issei. Huh. What thing? Dreg. Let's show Goku's memories to the others, since if you decide to tell it, it would surely take you hours, plus they wouldn't believe you because of what Goku is capable of doing and what you are now capable of doing. Issei. Can you show them the memories? Dreg. No problem, but to do this he will also have to speed up time, but this time outside, and he would have to cover the entire room, so that time flies, as it did with you. They would also spend 8 hours seeing all the memories. Thanks to that time flies, but to achieve that I would exhaust myself giving my power. Issei. Don't worry, old man, I'll help you. Issei takes out his wide aura and makes a sphere of Kai in his hand, surprising the others, since they had not yet assimilated Issei's great changes. I will transfer energy to you until you tell me. Issei would begin to transfer the energy from him to the sacred gadget for a moment. Dreg. You are already a member, this is more than enough. Issei. Okay, this disappears his aura. Are you ready to witness with your eyes things that you never imagined were real? He said it with a big smile. Everyone, without exception, nods excitedly at the Saiyan's words, and in that, we would also like to see, can we Hyoudou-kun? Everyone, without exception, turns their gaze to see Sona and the entire Sakito Citri. Rias. Sona, what brings you here? I would ask this one with interest. Sona. Well, we came to ask if you came back and we heard the conversation. We also know that the Securite is awake in Hyoudou-kun, returning to the previous thing. He called our attention to the reason for the change in your pawn. Hyoudou-kun, we can too see what happened to you. Issei. Of course Sona-chan, there is no problem. He said it with his trademark Goku smile. Sona smiled pleasantly, and so all the Citri nobility settled down for the show. Issei. Everything is ready, do it Dreg. Okay, here I go. The entire room was surrounded by a field of red aura. Issei. Inside this room, time will pass very quickly, while outside it will remain normal, so we can see everything that has happened to me these days, as well as meet Son Goku, the one responsible for me having all this power. Asia. Okay, excuse me, while you were talking I went to make something to eat. This one brought a basket of popcorn, so we could be more comfortable. Bekeno. Ara, thank you Asia-chan. Rias. Thank you Asia. Sona. You shouldn't have bothered, but thank you Argento-san. Issei. Well done Asia, I appreciate it, I was dying of hunger haha I took this one, like the others, apart from the popcorn, although what I took was exaggeratedly too much. Tiba. Issei-kun, can you eat all that? Greg. Believe me Knight Gremory, you will be surprised. Everyone did not understand the dragon's words, but they did not give it importance, just like that, without further interruptions, a hologram began to form from the Saiyan's gauntlet, thus the memories of the past days began to be transmitted. Unfortunately it began since Issei heard the decision of Rias with her clan to expel him from the raiding game, surprising the entire Gremory nobility and the Citri nobility, who remained silent. Rias. Issei, did you hear everything? She said it looking at the image of the old chestnut tree behind a door, listening to the decision she made for the raiding game. Issei. Yes, but don't worry, back then you were absolutely right, the only thing I could have done in that raiding game with my little experience would have been to lose immediately, so don't worry, I'm not upset or anything, because the style he said it with a smile, making the Redeed blush and making the others relieved, since he had no negative emotions about his mistress's decision. Thus they saw how the capsule fell from a black hole, the syringe with a blue liquid that flew and was injected into the chestnut's arm, something that totally caught Sona's attention, the changes that Issei showed in his body, it was even seen when he exploded with fury and made much of the place shake with his power. Bekeno. Wait, while we were training in those days, there was a powerful tremor accompanied by immense power that made us all tremble. Issei-kun. Was it you? He asked without believing it. Issei. Well yes hahaha, I just lost control for a moment and unleashed a little of my power but it doesn't matter anymore hahaha this one said it carelessly. Absolutely everyone, upon hearing the Saiyan's response, fell on their backs. How was it possible that something like that would be taken lightly and carelessly? Note. What can you say, it is the reincarnation of Goku, let's continue. Then what really mattered began. They watched Goku's story from when he came to Earth and all his battles, until reaching the part where he sacrifices himself against Omega Shenron and goes with Shenlong to the afterlife. Once everything is finished, only I could appreciate a tremendous infernal silence, and at the same time it was too uncomfortable because the astonishment that everyone had was total, so much so that even the word astonishment was too short for what everyone present felt when contemplating the story of a warrior from another dimension, capable of destroying the whole world and even an entire galaxy with his power. And the most shocking thing is that now Issei has all that immense power. Sona. Impressive. Rias. What? Are you just going to say that? She said it in shock at the simplicity of his childhood friend. Sona. And what else do you want Rias to say? There are not even words to describe everything we have seen about the Saiyan Son Goku and his power capable of destroying planets and galaxies, in addition to those 4 transformations of the Super Saiyan, in addition to the fact that now all that power and transformations are in the hands of Hyoudou-kun. Tsubaki. That's right, Issei-kun, what are you going to do with all that power? You can have the whole world in your hands if you want, no one would resist you, you are far superior to everyone in this room, so tell us, what do you plan to do with the power of Son Goku in your hands? That caught the attention of absolutely everyone in the room, who directed their full attention to the Saiyan, whose gaze was lowered and then showed a look full of determination. Issei. It's obvious Tsubaki-chan, I will use this power to keep this world safe. If someone intends to take control of this world and kill anyone who crosses their path, then I will stop them. I will use this force to defending the innocent and bringing peace to this world. That is the only thing I have in mind, besides the fact that now I am the heir of Son Goku. And now I am responsible for the peace of the world and the people. That is my only objective with this power. Now I am Son Goku. Everyone was happy about the Security's words. He really had noble intentions. Even in his old body, they saw him with an air of wanting to be strong to defend his friends, which made everyone in the room smile. Rias. I love you Issei, she said it very happy because of her boyfriend's words. Asia. Issei-san, I'm glad that you continue to be the same motivated and kind person that I knew. She was moved by the words of her now friend. Kaneko. I'm starting to admire Issei-senpai, even my opinion of him is starting to change. I only looked at the outside and not the inside, he said it with a small smile. Bekeno. Issei-kun, if you say that, it only makes me want to eat you more, he said it while licking his lips. Tiba. Issei-kun, you really are impressive, he said it with a big smile at the words of his friend. Greg. This is how you speak, partner. Sona. That being the case, there's nothing more to say then. Thank you Hyoudou-kun for your noble intentions. We entrust the world to you if we can't take care of it, okay? Issei. Count on it Sona-chan. Thus, both nobility got up from their seats, stretching their backs, since seeing all those memories for hours was impressive, and no one moved or went to the bathroom to see everything without skipping anything. Sona. Well, I think it's time to go. Issei. Wait Sona-chan, I would like to know two things joining his hands in a supplication. Sona. Yes tell me. Issei. First, where is Saji? Since she didn't come with you, and secondly, when will the next full moon be? I want to try to have a family member again. Sona. Well first, I don't know where Saji is, the last time he asked me on the phone to give him some time off since a misfortune had occurred, I haven't heard from him since then, and second, today you are in luck since today is a full moon, so you can try it today. Issei was excited about the second, although the first seemed strange to him, he would find out what happened with Saji. Issei. I see, then today I will try to have a family member, with Saji, surely a family matter must have arisen or something like that, anyway, thank you Sona-chan. Sona. You're welcome she would prepare a magic circle to leave with her nobility. Rias. See you Sona. Issei. See you Sona-chan, take care Tsubaki-chan he said this with Goku's trademark smile. Sona. See you, we are counting on you, the peace of this world is in your hands. Son Goku. Sona was normal, but Tsubaki. Tsubaki. SCU, Hyoudou-kun. And without further ado, all the Citri nobility disappeared from the room, leaving only those from the occult club. Luckily no one noticed Tsubaki's reaction towards the Saiyan. Issei. Hey Drake, deactivate the barrier now. Drake. Aware. The barrier disappeared and everyone realized by the clock that of all those hours watching Son Goku's memories, they had only spent 3 hours in the room which surprised them, except for Issei obviously. Issei. Okay, now I'll go back to the familiar forest he said it by putting 2 fingers on his forehead. Rias. Do you want us to go with you? He asked Iridid with a beautiful smile. Issei. Don't worry, it's not necessary, I have no intention of taking long, I will return as soon as possible. Akeno. Apparently they became very close Fufufushi this she said it with a fake smile. That smile did not go unnoticed by Rias, who only gave a sigh for what she was going to do. Rias. Issei wait, before you leave could you wait a moment outside the room? Issei. Of course I have no problem he said it a little confused by the situation. Rias. The others can now retire to rest, well done today, and thank you for taking care of the club while I was gone. Akeno, you stay, I want to talk to you about something. Everyone nodded and so Asia, Kaneko and Kiba left the room. Issei went out of the room to wait until Rias finished the talk, but what would he say to Akeno? Will he be too serious for him not to know? While inside the room. Akeno. Well but you, who wants to talk to me? Rias. Sigh it's about Issei, it doesn't matter to me, well you'll see. 15 minutes had passed, and the Saiyan had fallen asleep outside the room. The Issei. Asleep sushi. Curry snoring rice balls. Double ramen drools miso soup. I lead it all snore. Rias. Inside the room Issei, you can enter now. Issei. Huh? That. Yawning what happened? Ah yes, Rias told me to wait outside, apparently I can go in now stretching, cracking her neck. The Saiyan entered the room where he saw Rias and Akeno, who were waiting for him. Issei. Well. What's going on? Do you want to tell me something? This one asked confused. Akeno put on her happiest look as she began to walk towards the disheveled hair, who did not understand anything. When Akeno was in front of Issei, she touched the Saiyan's cheeks with her delicate hands, and without further ado, planted a tender kiss on his mouth. Under the stunned look of this, while Rias only looked away, but with a small smile at the happiness of the black-haired girl. While Issei did not understand the situation at all. Right now he was being kissed by the priestess of lightning in front of Rias, but because of his new Saiyan genes, he reciprocated the kiss while he took her waist, which the black-haired girl liked, and they stayed like that for 20 seconds, until due to lack of oxygen they had to separate, leaving a thread of saliva nearby. Akeno. Issei-kun, my Issei-kun, from now on I will also be with you, I hope you take care of me Fufufu he said it, while he leaned on the Saiyan's hard chest, which impressed him. Issei. What is happening here? Rias. Well you see Sai I realized Akeno's feelings towards you, so I told him that he will show his love for you now he finally said, surprising the Saiyan by such words. Issei. Akeno-san too. Good is that. Rias. Issei, remember what we talked about. Issei. Are you really okay with this? Rias. I am, I feel calmer so having you all to myself. Issei. But what will Drake think? I don't want to embarrass the title of him as the Welsh dragon, by knowing that the bearer of him has several women, I don't know if he. Drake. Don't worry about my partner, it doesn't bother me that you have a huge arsenal of women, if you had continued being that spaghetti with legs from before, maybe I would have been disappointed since you first thought about having women than about getting involved. trained to be stronger, but now that you have great power and a respectable body, I no longer have a problem with you having a harem. The Welsh dragon showed calmness with his words. Issei. Spaghetti. With legs. This one had a streak of anger. Well, Rias and Akeno snickered at the situation. Whatever, if you're not against it, well. Akeno-san, if you're okay to be with me, because I promise to love you as well as take care of you and value you from now and forever. I love you, Akeno. Issei grabbed the black-haired girl by the waist and they both sealed themselves in a tender kiss, but then someone interrupted them, since a ray of power of destruction was directed at the black-haired girl, but she managed to dodge it at the last moments. Rias. Oops, sorry, I slipped. But the next one won't slip, so learn to control yourself, Akeno. This one said it with a voice so deep that it chilled to the bones to Issei with fear, but Akeno only giggled. Issei. Okay Rias, you win, I will have a harem just like my old self wanted if that makes you happy. He would give a huge sigh. Now yes, I'm going to the familiar forest. Rias. Issei, one last thing, do you think I can show Son Goku's memories to One-sama and my parents? They were also curious about your change. Issei. Well, if it's just them then there's no problem, but how are you going to do it? It takes me to be there to show them through my sacred gear. Rias. Don't worry, well we were looking at the memories, I surreptitiously copied them with my magic. Issei. How clever, well that way there is no problem, besides this way they can trust me more. Rias. Thank you very much, giving him a tender kiss. That being the case, I'll go there now. Akeno, will you come with me? The black-haired girl nods, then they both see how Issei puts 2 fingers on his forehead. They both knew that he was going to use his new teleportation technique. Issei. I found it, the presence of Zataoji-san. Well girls, I'll see you tomorrow at the academy. Thus Issei disappears from the place, leaving both of them somewhat amazed since they still did not fully assimilate that Issei has acquired such amazing techniques as teleportation. Without further ado, both of them also disappeared in a magic circle towards the underworld, more precisely in the Gremory mansion. Meanwhile in the forest of the familiars, the Saiyan appeared out of nowhere seeing the place. Issei. Well I'm here. Zataoji-san is here. In that moment a voice was heard. Zataoji. I'm here boy. The Saiyan looks up seeing the guardian of the familiar forest in a tree with an animated smile. Issei. It's been a while Zataoji-san. The Saiyan bowed. Zataoji. Jumping down from the tree. Do I know you boy? Issei. Well yes. I am. Here we go again. I am the depraved servant of the Gremory nobility that he wanted that green slime that melted women's clothes. Total shame was evident in his words. Zataoji. What? Brown. Wow, brat, you've changed. Issei. Well yes something haha he said it between laughs. Zataoji. Well. Are you coming to see if the slime grew back to make it your familiar? He said it with a little laugh. Issei. No. That time I wasn't thinking correctly, that's why I come to see if this time I can get a family member to help me with his abilities. Do you think I can go through the forest to search one? He put both hands together as a sign of supplication. Zataoji. No problem kid, you can go. If you get one, return to this place. I will be here waiting for you to confirm your success. Issei. Thank you very much, see you fine. Without further ado the Saiyan began to walk into that forest. A while had passed, Issei looked around the forest seeing various beings that were there, but none of them caught his attention. Issei was getting bored, and to kill time he sang a song. Issei. Finger snaps. Song skipped because of copyright issues. This one sang happily until. Brewer who are you? Issei. Huh? That. This confused man looked up only to see how a powerful flame of red fire was coming at full power towards him. Without reacting in time, he received the attack squarely. It seems like I overdid it. I didn't even try to listen to what I wanted to say. The person responsible was unable to finish as a powerful red explosion appeared and a voice was heard saying a kind of chant. I who will awaken, I am the Red Dragon Emperor who renounces the principles of domination. But what? He survive. Also. What is he saying? I hold the dreams of the infinite and the hopes in my heart, and he moved forward. Red Dragon. There was only one Red Dragon, is it? I will become the ultimate king of the Red Dragon. There is no doubt that Red Dragon is definitely, and I will take the oath, the promise to show you the bright light of our future. Dreg. Welsh Dragon Cardinal Crimson Promotion. A gigantic explosion was seen after the chant, and when it calmed down a powerful armor was seen showing respect wherever you saw it. Note. I am going to make a short special about how Issei destroyed Drake's curse and obtained the Cardinal Crimson promotion, but it will be after this chapter, thus the doubts you have about this event will be resolved. Without further ado let's continue. Issei. I don't know who you are, but let me tell you something, attacking like that is cowardly. His voice was serious under the armor. Issei looks up to see the person responsible for the attack and when he does so he is shocked. Issei. But what? A dragon. Dreg. Wait, that way. Is it impossible, she was supposed to be dead. The sealed dragon showed shock at her words. Issei. Huh? They know each other. Wait. She. She is a female dragon. Reg. Yes, but it's absurd, she's supposed to have died a long time ago, how is she alive? Who are you? Issei. My name is Hyoudou Issei, I am the wearer of the Bosted gear and the current security. Now I'm starting to understand things. I am the fiery dragon queen, as my name says, I am one of the dragon kings, and I am known as the dragon queen of destruction. She showed pride in his words. Reg. So you are alive, Ignia, but how? This was said in her thoughts. No matter how much she tried to find an answer, she came to nothing, but she would receive answers. Issei. My pleasure, but I want to know, why did you attack me out of nowhere? Ignia. I think I'll play with him a little. I hate any being that crosses my path, and now you will die. And without further ado, the dragon with her wings begins to fly in the direction of the security, who also began to fly with his majestic wings, thus both would begin a battle in the skies. Issei. This is getting exciting. He bumped his fists just like Goku because of the fight. The dragon begins to throw small flames of fire towards the Saiyan, who dodged them with great ease. If he was strong as a Saiyan, as a dragon it was the same. He continued dodging the attacks until he flies at a sonic speed, appearing at the in front of the dragon, giving her a powerful blow to the jaw that made her retreat a couple of meters. But without waiting for anything, she hits him with her tail that sends him shooting to the ground, creating a huge screen of smoke. Ignia. I think I used more force than normal, I should see if she is okay. Just then a voice is heard within the smoke. Issei. I appreciate your concern. But if I were you, I wouldn't accept victory so easily. Boost 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 dragon shoot. From the smoke came a small green sphere that was going at a slow speed towards the dragon, who had an angry face. She thought that the guy in her armor was underestimating her. Ignia. Are you making fun of me? This is nothing. This gives a crash to the small sphere. Terrible mistake, since the sphere ends in a gigantic explosion that covers a large part of the forest. Thank goodness the dragon was in the air. But what the hell was that? Hey you, what did you do? She looked towards the smoke that she had dissipated, expecting to find the one in armor, but to her surprise, there was nothing. And in that, Issei. I'm here. The dragon looked up from her, finding the one in armor in front of her. Ignia. But how? At what time? She was in shock. Issei. Well, I just moved, nothing more. Yo, you must know something. Do you really think you can keep up with me? I'm too small for you to be able to hit me, even more so with my speed. Accept it, you are at a disadvantage, Igneous Dragon Queen. Reg. That had to hurt directly into Ignia's pride, although if it were Tiamat, she would have reacted very badly. The good thing is that Ignia knows how to control herself. She thought of this seeing the Dragon Queen's reaction. Ignia was in shock because the one in the armor was right. If he has that speed, it will be impossible for him to hit him with how small and skilled the one in the armor is, so he made a decision. Ignia. Sigh, you're right, Hyoudou Issei. It will be difficult for me to fight you with the speed you have. He just said it. Issei. Thank you for understanding. Now if you excuse me, I must continue looking for Ignia. I won't be able to hit you like this, and that's why. The dragon gave a powerful roar, which was followed by a bright light that covered a large part of the place. Issei had to cover his eyes due to the luminosity. After everything had happened, the Saiyan observed that the Dragon Queen was not there. He thought she had gone. Retired, but he feels a presence, so he directs his gaze towards the place of presence, and by doing so, he is left in complete shock. Ignia. Now we can fight more comfortably. Hyoudou-kun. Now there are no reasons to hold back, right? Issei. I didn't think I could do that. Surprised. Reg. So he learned magic to use a human form? Well. What will you do, partner? Will you continue fighting Ignia? Issei. This really got interesting. Of course I want to see how powerful she is. This one was totally excited to fight. Very good, Ignia-chan. We will fight without holding back. Are you ready? He lowers himself to the ground, standing in front of her. Ignia. Of course, attack with all your might, Hyoudou-kun. This, she brings out a red dragon aura as a sign of excitement, and without saying anything else, they both shot at each other, clashing their fists without holding back, creating a great wave that shook the place a little. Obvious on Ignia's part that she was no longer holding back, but Issei will have a hard time holding back too much, because the difference is absurdly noticeable, and he doesn't want to hurt her, so the second round between dragons would begin. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown in left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.